10 healthy foods that actually cause prostate enlargement. Forget the late-night commercials blaming just getting older for a swollen prostate. The truth is, the real culprits may be sitting in your fridge right now. Foods you've been told are healthy. One slice, one sip, and that walnut-sized gland can puff up just enough to pinch your urethra, turning a quick bathroom break into a nightly wrestling match. Peer-reviewed data from Harvard and Mayo Clinic show men who load up on the wrong health foods can face up to a 240% higher risk of bothersome prostate enlargement. Translation: more urgency, weaker flow, and nights spent counting ceiling tiles instead of sleeping. In the next few minutes, you'll discover which supposedly heart-friendly oil quietly doubles prostate growth hormones and why a whole-grain breakfast darling acts like rocket fuel for BPH. Miss either of these, and you might add another bathroom trip to your nightly routine before the month is out. Welcome to Holistic Habits, the place where we shred nutrition hype, spotlight the real studies, and hand you fixes you can use tonight. If saving your sleep and your stream sounds like a plan, tap like. So more men see this and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode that could spare you hours in the bathroom. Ready to take charge of your prostate instead of letting marketing labels control you? Let's dive in. Number 1, soy milk. It's often marketed as a healthy, dairy-free alternative, but soy milk may be doing far more harm than good, especially for men over 40. Here's the hidden issue. Soy milk is rich in phytoestrogens, plant compounds that mimic estrogen in the body. While that might sound harmless, excess phytoestrogen exposure has been linked to hormonal imbalances in men, including lowered testosterone and increased estrogenic activity. And what does that have to do with your prostate? A study published in Prostate Cancer and Prostatic Diseases found that elevated estrogen levels can directly contribute to prostate tissue proliferation, meaning more growth, more pressure, and more frequent urination at night. Another clinical study out of Harvard showed that men with higher phytoestrogen intake had a greater likelihood of developing benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, a non-cancerous but highly disruptive prostate enlargement that affects over 50% of men by age 60. And that's not all. Most soy milk brands today are made from genetically modified soybeans, which are heavily sprayed with glyphosate, a known endocrine disruptor. So you're not just drinking plant milk, you're swallowing a hormone cocktail with a side of chemical residue. If you're sipping soy milk every morning thinking it's good for your heart, your waistline, or your hormones, you may be feeding the exact problem you're trying to avoid. But if soy milk can mess with your hormones, what about seeds? You're going to want to hear what's next, because number 2 is even sneakier, and it's probably in your pantry right now. Number 2, flaxseeds. They're praised as heart-healthy superfoods. But flaxseeds are also loaded with lignans, compounds that act like plant estrogens in the body. And in men, that's a problem. Multiple studies, including one published in Cancer Epidemiology, Biomarkers, and Prevention, have found that a high intake of phytoestrogens is linked to lower testosterone and enlarged prostate volume in aging males. One clinical trial even showed that flaxseed supplementation led to a measurable reduction in testosterone within just 4 weeks. And it doesn't stop there. Animal studies suggest these estrogen-mimicking compounds may also fuel cellular growth in the prostate. So if you're sprinkling flax into your smoothies for fiber or omega-3s, you could be unknowingly tipping your hormone balance and accelerating prostate inflammation. But if you thought flax was sneaky, wait till you find out what common pantry spread could be quietly clogging your pipes next. Number 3, peanut butter. It's marketed as heart-healthy, protein-packed, and kid-friendly. But behind the label lies a silent endocrine disruptor, aflatoxins. Aflatoxins are toxic compounds produced by mold that commonly grow on peanuts during storage. According to the World Health Organization, aflatoxins are classified as Group 1 carcinogens, and studies have linked them to liver cancer, DNA damage, and immune suppression, especially in men with already stressed liver detox pathways. But it doesn't stop at mold. Most commercial peanut butters are also laced with hydrogenated oils, a source of trans fats, and added sugar, both of which drive chronic inflammation and insulin resistance. A 2019 study published in Nutrients found that frequent consumption of processed peanut products was associated with increased oxidative stress and systemic inflammation, especially in men with metabolic syndrome. And here's the kicker. Despite being rich in protein, peanuts also contain lectins and phytates, anti-nutrients that can block mineral absorption, especially zinc, which plays a vital role in testosterone production and prostate health. So, if you're slathering it on thinking it's clean fuel, you could be feeding inflammation and hormonal imbalance without even knowing it. And the next one? It's in nearly every pantry, and maybe the worst oil you could ever eat for your hormones. Number 4, canola oil. If there's one food hiding in plain sight that could be sabotaging your hormones, your heart, and even your brain, it's this one. Canola oil is often marketed as heart-healthy, but what most people don't realize is that it's highly refined, heat-treated, and often rancid before it even hits the shelf. The real danger? Its omega-6 fatty acid content. Studies show that excessive omega-6s, especially when oxidized, can trigger chronic inflammation, endothelial dysfunction, and even accelerate neurodegeneration. In fact, research from Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that high omega-6 intake can worsen cognitive decline and Alzheimer's risk, especially when not balanced by omega-3s. But here's the disturbing part. Most canola oil today comes from genetically modified rapeseed and is processed using hexane, a neurotoxic petroleum solvent. According to a 2020 European Food Safety Authority report, trace hexane residues may remain in final products, and long-term exposure has been linked to hormonal disruption and oxidative stress. And when this oil is used for frying or packaged goods, it becomes a chemical cocktail of trans fats and lipid peroxides, both strongly linked to heart disease and insulin resistance in men. So, if you're cooking with it, snacking on chips fried in it, or drizzling it over salads thinking it's a smart choice, you're feeding inflammation, one spoonful at a time. And next, it's a popular drink that can silently crush your testosterone levels and expand your waistline. Fast. Number 5, beer. It's the weekend drink millions of men enjoy. But for your prostate, it's a stealth saboteur. Beer is loaded with phytoestrogens from hops, specifically a compound called 8-prenylnaringenin, one of the most potent plant estrogens ever discovered. Research from the Journal of Steroid Biochemistry and Molecular Biology has shown that this compound can disrupt testosterone balance and promote estrogenic activity in men. That's not just bad news for muscle and mood, it's a direct threat to your prostate. Excess estrogen is a known contributor to benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, aka prostate enlargement. And guess what? Chronic alcohol consumption also raises estradiol levels while impairing liver detox function, allowing estrogen to accumulate in the body even more. But the real danger lies in the frequency. You don't need to binge drink. Just a couple of beers a few times a week can be enough to lower testosterone and raise estradiol, especially in men over 40. One study in alcohol and alcoholism found that regular beer drinkers had significantly higher estrogen to testosterone ratios than non-drinkers, and worse urinary symptoms too. So if that nightly beer is feeling harmless, your prostate might be telling a different story. And next up, a high-protein favorite that's being marketed as clean, but it's flooding your body with hidden endocrine disruptors. Number 6, tofu. It's praised as a clean, plant-based protein, but for your hormones and prostate, it may be fueling the very imbalance you're trying to avoid. Tofu is made from soybeans, one of the richest sources of isoflavones, which are plant compounds that behave like weak estrogens in the body. These phytoestrogens can bind to estrogen receptors, and while their effects are milder than true estrogen, they're strong enough to disrupt hormonal balance in men. According to research in Frontiers in Pharmacology, high intake of isoflavones has been associated with lower testosterone, altered hormone-binding globulin, SHBG levels, and disrupted estrogen metabolism. The prostate is highly sensitive to these hormonal shifts. A meta-analysis published in Nutrition and Cancer found that elevated soy consumption may downregulate androgen receptors, interfere with DHT signaling, and contribute to prostate enlargement over time, especially in men with pre-existing inflammation, poor liver detox pathways, or hormonal imbalances. Even more concerning, most tofu in the US is non-organic and processed using hexane, a petroleum-derived solvent that's banned in organic food processing due to its neurotoxicity. Residual traces can remain in the final product, raising safety concerns. So while tofu may look like a healthy meat alternative, the hidden hormonal consequences and processing risks make it a food to reconsider. especially for men over 40 concerned with prostate health, testosterone decline, or endocrine disruption. Next up, a food you've been told is the perfect breakfast, but it may be secretly hijacking your blood sugar and spiking silent inflammation. Number 7, oatmeal. It's promoted as the ultimate heart-healthy breakfast, but oatmeal could be silently fueling prostate inflammation. Here's why. Quick oats and even rolled oats have a glycemic index ranging from 55 to 83, meaning they rapidly spike blood sugar. These repeated surges trigger insulin resistance and chronic inflammation, both strongly linked to prostate enlargement. A 2020 study in Nutrients confirmed that high postprandial glucose levels lead to elevated inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, CRP, which has been directly associated with increased prostate volume in aging men. Even worse, over 95% of conventional oat crops in the US contain glyphosate residue, a pesticide shown to disrupt hormones, damage DNA, and interfere with the gut microbiome. If you're eating oats daily without balancing them with healthy fats or protein, you're creating the perfect storm for metabolic dysfunction. Next up, a fitness snack hiding a cocktail of endocrine disruptors. Number 8, protein bars. They may look healthy, but many protein bars are glorified candy bars, loaded with ultra-processed ingredients that wreak havoc on men's hormones. One of the biggest offenders? Soy protein isolate, a cheap filler found in countless bars that contains concentrated phytoestrogens. A study in fertility and sterility found that just 40 milligrams of soy isoflavones per day, the amount in some bars, reduced testosterone levels in healthy adult males within 4 weeks. Even worse, many low-carb bars contain artificial sweeteners like sucralose and acesulfame K, both of which disrupt the gut microbiome and have been linked to insulin resistance, fueling the exact kind of metabolic dysfunction that drives prostate enlargement. And let's not forget the additives, emulsifiers, synthetic flavors, and gums that have been linked to increased inflammation and gut permeability in animal models. So if you're grabbing one of these on the go thinking you're being smart, you might be feeding the very inflammation you're trying to avoid. Up next, a so-called muscle builder that may be quietly triggering prostate growth. Number 9, whey protein. Here's the dirty little secret most supplement companies don't want you to know. Not all whey protein is created equal, and some forms might actually be fueling prostate problems. Many commercial whey powders are ultra-processed and contain oxidized cholesterol, artificial sweeteners, gums, and heavy metals. Yes, actual traces of lead, arsenic, and cadmium have been found in several top-selling brands, according to testing by the Clean Label Project. Even worse, a study published in the Prostate Journal found that certain dairy peptides, including some found in whey, stimulated prostate cancer cell growth in vitro under specific hormonal conditions. While high-quality, grass-fed whey in moderation may support muscle growth, men who slam down multiple scoops daily, especially from low-grade tubs, could be flooding their bodies with inflammatory agents, synthetic additives, and hormone-altering residues. And if you're stacking whey with protein bars, you're doubling down on estrogenic fillers, sucralose, and gut-disrupting emulsifiers. But the last one on our list is the sneakiest of them all, because you'll find it in almost every kitchen. Number 10, tomato sauce with hidden sodium. Don't be fooled by its innocent label. That jar of tomato sauce in your pantry might be doing more harm than your salt shaker ever could. The average store-bought marinara packs over 450 to 600 milligrams of sodium per half cup, but some brands sneak in over 900 milligrams, nearly 40% of your daily sodium limit, in a single serving. And here's where it gets dangerous. High sodium intake has been linked to elevated prostate inflammation, urinary retention, and increased blood pressure, which may reduce blood flow to the prostate, complicating conditions like BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia. Even worse, excess salt can interfere with the protective effects of potassium, which the prostate needs for healthy function. And because tomato-based products are often acidic, that high sodium can also worsen prostatitis-related bladder irritation. So what's the fix? If you're using tomato sauce, go low sodium, or better yet, make your own at home with fresh tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, and herbs. Most men have no idea how subtle these daily choices are, until it's too late. What looks like clean eating on the surface could be quietly feeding chronic inflammation, spiking estrogen, or overloading the body with sodium and synthetic additives. And when that happens, it's not just your prostate that suffers. Your energy, sleep, and long-term vitality start slipping too. But here's the good news. The solution doesn't require a radical diet overhaul. It starts with knowing what to look for, what to avoid, and where the hidden dangers actually live. Because once you eliminate the silent saboteurs, your body gets a chance to do what it's designed to do: restore, rebalance, and protect. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these foods surprised you the most? Or is there one you've already cut out that made a difference? Let me know below. And if you're ready to take it further, I've put together a free prostate protection protocol with 5 simple but powerful strategies you can start using today to reduce inflammation and protect your health long-term. The link is below. Stay sharp and stay one step ahead.